us about your world at NAMM, DiscoFreq.
Okay, I saw already over 200 pedals on 2 days. Well, I still have to add today and Sunday. Let's start alphabetically. At Alerix they had a junior version of the Halo pedal. Amp Tweaker had a bass version of the Tight Fuzz. Analog Alien had a rumble seat, overdrive and delay. Ashdown, together with Hayden amps, brought a whole line of Dr. Green pedals and also an acoustic preamp and a few other things. Bad Cat had a Siamese drive. BBE updated most of its pedals and also released a bunch of new pedals. Boss, of course, released 3 new pedals, the Adaptive Distortion, Multi-Overtone and Terra Echo. Buddha amps also came with a new line of pedals, probably with the intention of releasing more later on. Caroline Guitar Company came with a lo-fi delay, which was really interesting. It had a non-latching switch for the feedback. Crazy Tube Circuits, the Greece company, had 2 new pedals, the Stoned Hertz and the Bulb Compressor. The first one is a modulation pedal. They also updated their time pedal, the time delay pedal with top tempo, and made a limited edition of the Ziggy drive. Creation Audio came with 2 new pedals, the Functionator bass tone shaper and the Grizzly bass, and updated, made a new version of the Holy Fire pedal that works on 9 volt instead of 48 volts. There's also Decibel 11, who had a new pedal switcher, multiple loop switcher, with some interesting features like parallel loops and the possibility to change the order of the loops of the pedals. Dirty Boy pedals came with a Dirty Girl 1-knob fuzz, which actually has 3 knobs now. They also have a Dirty Wah, two versions, one based on the Color Sound, one on the Thomas Organ Kai Baby. Duesenberg has 3 new pedals, the Channel 2 Overdrive, Treble Beep, Treble Booster and the Rev Reverb. Earthquaker Devices has a bigger version of their disaster transport, and the Warden, an optical compressor. EBS came with a Billy Sheehan signature drive. EC pedals came with a hot rolled booster and also a pedal switcher. Electro-Harmonics really did their best this time. They came with several new pedals, so most of them with separate foot controllers, like the 45,000 multi-track looping recorder, 8-step program, which is a sequencer for control voltage or expression pedals, so you can sequence any pedal with an expression input. They also have the Epitome multi-effects, the Hog 2, which is an updated version of their Hog guitar synthesizer, and the Random Tone Generator, which is not an effect but really a source of random sounds. Eventides, of course, came with an H9 harmonizer. F-Pedals is a new brand who came with mini pedals, all Eddie Kramer signature pedals, Distortion, Echo Box and Phaser Vibe. Fender came with their competition series of 4 new relatively cheap pedals. Hammond came with a big Leslie pedal. There were some other companies already with Leslie pedals, but now Hammond itself came with a Leslie pedal, which is pretty interesting. Hartman came with 2 versions of the Crystal Valve pedal, germanium and silicon. Ibanez came with the ES2 Echo Shifter, which is something completely new because it's a totally different enclosure from what they usually use. Then Rocket Audio came with quite a lot of signature pedals, mostly Mark Sampson signature pedals. Jim Dunlop came with 3 new mini fuzz face pedals, but they also released several new MXR pedals like Talkbox, Bass Chords Deluxe, Bass Overdrive. Loud Button Electronics came with a Morphine Dream, which is a clone of the Roland AP7 phaser fuzz from the 70s. Matt Professor has the Bluebird overdrive delay and a custom shop hand-wired Amber overdrive. Magic Box came with a Filthy Lucre, which is a Marshall sound pedal. Of course, Mesa Boogie came with 4 pedals, which was also big news from a big name in the amp world. MIFX came with a crossover drive and lo-fi delay, both very interesting, and also updated their Blues Pro and Crunch Box to super versions. Mojo Hand released the Rook Royale. Moore Audio came with pro versions of their Re-Echo and Shimverb, so you can store settings. At the George L booth there were also Myco pedals, which seems to be the new brand name for the old Swell pedals, so old tube-based pedals. Palmer, the German company, came with 3 bass pedals and 1 tube distortion. Pictronics came with 3 bass pedals, an envelope phaser, fat drive and bass compressor. Also a quantum time modulator, which is a double chorus. But they also had a special pedal at the booth of D'Angelico Guitars, which was made by Pictronics. Then there's Rockbox. They have a new enclosure for their pedals, and they also released the Brown Sugar distortion. Rowan is a new Chinese company which releases mini pedals. Source Audio has announced a few pedals before the show, like the orbital modulator and the polymod filter, but they also had a few new ones, like the OFD bass micromodeler, and most interesting to me is the Flexbox effect system, where you can download any of their pedals, choose which knobs you want to use from a much longer list than you have knobs on their other pedals. You can also choose the range of all those knobs, and you get some credit for those pedals with the Flexbox, but you can also try other effects for free as long as you don't shut down the pedal. Once you turn it off, then you can only store the pedals you bought or the models you bought. Stomp Labs is a new company. They had a few switchers, but most interesting was their Fuzzy Fire, which is a fuzz pedal, but it has an expression input and output, and you can select for each knob. You can choose if you want to control it with an expression pedal, and also if you want it linear, reverse linear, or non-linear and reverse non-linear. And they're going to release more pedals with that same system, so it will allow to use one expression pedal to control lots of parameters, or to fade between pedals that are connected in the same line. T-Rex came with version 2 of their Muller drive and sweeper bass chorus. New company, Tone Bakery, has 5 new pedals: the Crème Brûlée Boost Overdrive, Crème Double Dual Boost Overdrive, Dulce Delay, Key Lime Compressor and Mocha Drive. Voodoo Lab had a Hex MIDI controlled loop switcher. Wampler Pedals had a Tom Quayle Signature Dual Fusion pedal. WMD had a prototype of a synth effect, and Zivex had a bass version of his Fuzz Factory, the Fat Fuzz Factory, and super versions of his Ringtone, Seek-Trem and Sequa with MIDI, ramp up, ramp down, syncing options, really lots of options, really interesting to use with drum machines and so on. Zoom came with an A3 pedal, and they also they also announced a few pedals before, but the only thing changing about them is the numbering. If you go to effectsdatabase.com, you will find more than what I just mentioned here, and also the next days I will still do updates, add more pedals. So I expect to have more pedals than 2 years ago when I was also here. Back then I ended up with 208 pedals, and I think there will definitely be more. I'm already at 203 now. I still have to add several, so that's really great news for pedal world.